the Hawks go flying in, oh, when the Hawks go flying in.
And the league is extraordinary. Don't take a back seat to anybody when you talk about our league. 10 teams in the top 100 RPI last year. A record number of postseason appearances. Players, everybody out there has 5 more players that could replace the 5 players that were on that first team. It's a terrific league with really high-level coaching, on the level of coaching about integrity and class and doing it the right way. It's a pleasure and an honor to compete in the Atlantic 10.
When I saw the selection, I was neither surprised nor startled. It was. I think the bigger thing is that there's 6 teams that got votes for first place. I think there's arguably a couple more that could have gotten votes, or should have gotten votes. Well, to me, this is going to be about execution, and it's execution of the game plan off the court. It's execution of the game plan. You know, we all run with numbers. Well, here's our number. In our 14 losses last year, we led us in the second half 11 times. So it has to be sharper. The coaching has to be sharper. The timeout has to be quicker. The substitution has to be different. Individual players have to acknowledge, well, they got nervous in this situation, or they got a brain freeze in that situation. But to me, if our execution is to the highest level, then we can match some of these expectations.
You know, to your point, 4 guys being first, second, or third, or second or third team, that's wonderful. Is that what you think of yourself? If it is, then in the weight room, did you lift to the level of being an all-league player? Did you get to study hall on time like an all-league player? Because others think that of you. What are your own expectations? So, big-headed, I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all about that. I'm not worried about it being a distraction to anybody. There's a grounded nature here, and we have to make sure that it doesn't enter into their agenda, to be honest with you. Like, you can't enter your agenda and say, well, now I was third team, maybe if I work really hard I'll be second team. Well, maybe you will.
And your team gets ranked number 1, but you don't have any players on the first team. Does that mean anything to you?
I think that it means that there's as I said from that podium, there are so many good players in this league who have an opportunity to move into the discussion for Player of the Year, move into the discussion for first team all league. To me, all of those accolades are directly attached to team success. That's why it's a team sport.
Well, this year's theme is take one day at a time. You know, I think our goal down the stretch is to be one of those NCAA teams, but we can't get ahead of ourselves. You know, I think Ireland trip taught us that we have a very talented team, but we still got a lot of work to do. The non-conference schedule that we put together was one it's very challenging. We're going to really put ourselves out there early and see what we're made of. And you know, this year's approach is one day at a time, but it's also we're going for it. You know, we're going for it. So we really feel strongly about that, and no regrets, and looking forward.
Well, it's breathtaking, certainly, and to meet the people on the inside, to me, this is a building that is going to become the standard for the whole country.
Well, I think you're on the biggest stage in America, in New York City on Saturday night. It doesn't really get much better than that. So we're very excited about the opportunity, and we're looking to grow the tournament as much as possible.
And number 1, let's be clear about this. That media package, the move to this building, the number of teams that are being talked about as potential to win this league, there is no question. There's no question. And I've been in the league a long time, and it's always been discussed and whispered about. But it's time to shout about the fact that there's one league in the country that's number 1 basketball-only conference. right here, the Atlantic 10.
See, I think the media package that was announced does this. I think it's going to drive the passionate Atlantic 10 fan, the passionate fan that we have at Dayton, the passionate fan that we have at St. Louis, the passionate fan that we have at UMass or St. Joseph's or Richmond. I believe that this package now allows them to get further engulfed in the league. And if they sit down and they watch a Fordham UMass game, and they can say, you know what, that guy, Chaz Williams, he was a preseason first team. Chris Gaston is an all-timer at Fordham. Let's really zero in and watch this game. And then I think we whet their appetite and feed their appetite, and that has to lead to all of the schools producing those passionate fan bases in New York come March.
I think anytime you can schedule tough out of conference, it always prepares you, because the teams in our league are, there's no shoe-in wins anymore. It's just every night you got to be ready. And when you face different teams in the non-conference that maybe are similar to the teams that you're going to be playing in the Atlantic 10, or maybe slightly different, maybe they run the same type of offenses, I think it really prepares your kids. And you can say, and they're always reference points. Remember when we did this against University of Maryland, they were 4th in the country, and you out-rebounded so-and-so. Well, you can do that. You can do that against so-and-so. So I think it's always good to schedule tough. We may take some hits early, but our long-term goal is to get to the NCAA tournament, and like we said, we're going for it.
Well, I think that this team is balanced. We have 4 returning double-figure scorers. The guy that led us in assists and rebounds was our 5th leading scorer. So to me, it's not about any one player. It's about the quality of the group, and it's about them meeting their expectations. We're certainly excited. Our fans are excited. Our students are excited. And the players know that this is about today, but only about today, and to focus on bettering themselves as a person and as a player. Well, my expectations for my team always remain the same, and that is that we need to be better tomorrow than we are today, and then we have to keep going and going and going. And hopefully when we return to Barclays Center in March, we'll be playing our best basketball. And then we'll see how things measure out. But the biggest deal for us is our execution. Our execution must meet expectations, and then good things will happen.
So to all the coaches and all the teams, the best of health as we get started, because October truly is the start of college basketball. Thank you.